Alright guys, I wanted to show you, do a little bit of a review. I had just gotten this. This was actually provided to me by a company that asked me to go ahead and do a review on this. So what this basically is a micro compressor and an automotive jump starter box. You've seen these before. Now, a couple of the things, I have a few different ones that I've picked up from other sources. One of the things I will say, this one did come with a charging cord. Most of them did not that I got. This one does come with an instruction book that goes through and details exactly how to use it, what all the functions are. That's nice because a lot of them come with just a little card that has some basic pointers. Decent set of jumper cables. They don't need to be long since this is so mobile. You could set this right beside your car battery or tractor battery or whatever. This does also come with your accessory kit. Your accessory kit has a pair of little blower nozzles, and also for doing basketballs, soccer balls, that kind of thing, the needle comes with that. Okay, so it has this divided case. It's a semi-firm case. I wouldn't want to drive over it, but it's pretty resistant. It must have some plastic sheeting molded into here underneath of this canvas. It's a nice canvas material, good quality zipper, seems to work fine. So this is the actual machine. The machine, on the end right here, you have your input, which is a micro USB-C. Or USB-C, I'm sorry, probably not called micro anymore. So the USB-C plugs into that. You could plug this into any USB port and you can charge this. Now note that just like my other ones, the batteries in these is actually pretty large, okay? Now, this is Andeman. Andeman is what I'm going to call it, Andeman. It has all of your controls are right here, okay? You have your various information on your battery capacity and you know, just the basic electronics information with your CE and FCC icons on here showing that it, you know, at least is supposed to have went through and passed the test. Your engine start port is right here, okay? So you pull this open, and that has the plugs that match right here. So you see your lighting, you see your lights come on right here. So it's showing that it's, you know, it's reading, it's ready, it's willing to go right now. Okay, I'm gonna take that back out for a moment. Okay, you have a flashlight right here. You have your threaded port with an O-ring embedded into it right here. Now, one thing I did like was they put a heat shield around the knurled collar. So, okay, when you run in a compressor like this, they do create heat, especially right at the output point of the compressor. I have, you know, had other ones that get uncomfortably warm, I'll say it that way, near to the point of hot. I've had one that actually melted the hose while trying to use it excessively. I was purposely trying to push it to failure, and that was the failure point, was the heat coming out, destroyed the hose. But what they did was they put this rubber collar on here so you can use that rubber collar for A, more traction, and B, you know, more grip traction, and B, so that you're not touching the metal end and getting burnt, right? So after you're using this on your truck or your lawn tractor or ATV or whatever, you're going to grab this rubber sleeve and turn it loose rather than grabbing the metal end. So that's actually a nice thing that I haven't seen. I have 3 other ones. None of those 3 have that protective sleeve. That's a nice thing. So the screen does come covered. I'll leave that on. Now, okay, I'm going to come closer here. And at this point, when you're looking at the machine, you have your power button right here in the center. Your light button, this is for the flashlight right here, which it could be a flashlight, a strobe light, an SOS strobe light. So I'll show you that. So I'm gonna turn the power on. Okay, you see the power is at 100%. I did charge it. It came to me at about 88%. I charged it with the USB-C to 100. They do charge slow, once again, because they do have a very large battery. So here's your button for your light. So I'm going to press the light button, and the light's on. I'm going to press the light button again. I have a standard SOS flash. So it's going to go 3 fast, 3 slow, 3 fast. It's going to repeat that again and again. So if you're in the woods or something like that, and you can get to a high point, you could set this up and you can do an SOS strobe into a direction you thought was most beneficial and just leave this, and this thing would run, if it was fully charged, for days in SOS mode. Okay, we're going to hit the button one more time. So now we're in just a standard, set it on the roof of your car, pointing towards the oncoming, or the flow of traffic coming towards you there in your lane. And you could point this at them and they would have this white light strobing that would draw their attention. Hopefully wake them up. Hit the button again, we're back off. Okay, so it's as simple as on, SOS, strobe, off. Okay, so now, looking at our buttons here, you see that we have a mode button, we have a positive button, and we have a negative button. Let me pause this. I want to go turn the light on. Okay, so here we go. Now you should be able to see that a little bit better. So again, we're going to turn the power on. Screen lights up. Get close here to you. Now, using the mode button, I'm going to hit mode. And you can see the picture of the car, and it's set at 36 degrees. Now, if I hit positive, I can change my turn-off pressure. So the way these work is if you set it at, say, 32, and your tire's at 28, you would put this on your tire, you would hit start again, it would begin to pump at 28. When it got itself to 32, it would automatically turn itself off. Now, mode, you can go to bicycle right there. Okay, you should be able to see that picture of the bike. Motorcycle, sorry. And that's bicycle. That's for doing athletic balls, basketballs, soccer balls, footballs, things like that. Back around to the automobile. So you can use your negative and your positive no matter which mode you're in. Now what the mode does, and I've played with this and I figured out a little bit of why they have the modes. So it does not change the output. I'm going to set this down. So it does not change the output of the actual machine. So what the mode does is when you're on an automotive tire, the amount of time that this runs before it sees a 1 psi advance is a lot longer than, say, if you're putting it on a bicycle that has a very small diameter inner tube and tire, right? So if you're on an automobile but you have it set for a bicycle and it's looking for a 1 psi change, okay, it's set on a bicycle, it's expecting this to happen fairly quickly, and if it doesn't happen, it's going to shut itself off thinking something's wrong. You're not connected correctly, there's a hole in the inner tube or the tire, there's something wrong for some reason, it's pumping and it's not getting the expected results. When you go over to automobile, that does allow it to pump a lot more time before it will safety itself off. And when that really comes into place, even in the automobile setting, if you have, like, say, an ATV tire, which is a fairly large volume tire, and that ATV tire is like pretty much flat to the rim, right? So it's going to essentially be pumping a long time at or near 0 psi, because even as an ATV tire is starting to like lift the rim up a little bit, it might be a half a psi at that point. This will still kick out, as will every other one that I have. They all seem to have that safety built in that is designed, and the reason that safety's there, again, there's a thermal problem with these micro compressors, right? There's a thermal issue here. They cannot run like a full-size compressor that has active cooling. There is cooling, there is ventilation in the case. There's holes that you can see here. They do move air through the housing to the best of their ability. Okay, so back to the point of this is that when you have a large volume tire that is taking an excessive amount of time, it is going to safety off, and you can simply turn it back, hit the power button again, it'll come back on. You hit the power button again, it'll go back to pumping, and eventually you'll get to where there's a little bit of PSI in the tire, and now it'll begin to see the progress. It'll see it going to 2 PSI to 3 PSI to 4 PSI, and it'll work up until the point that it thermals itself off to save itself again. because if you have a large, say you have a 35-inch truck tire and it's like nearly rim on the ground, it's that flat, you're probably not going to be able to use this to go straight to 35 psi on that large of a off-road truck tire. Whereas your average small SUV sedan, you might be able to pull that off. But there are some limitations to these. Where they excel fabulously is if you have a car, you notice that your tire's low, you have 20 psi in it, you're at work, you don't have time to deal with this right now, you can grab this out of the trunk, you can hook it up to your tire, you can push yourself up to 32, 35, whatever your car requires, and drive home or drive to a shop, do what you want to do. You might want to drive home, put it back on charge, not that you'll kill it in one tire, but I like to keep my stuff full charge. But you might be able to use this for a few days until you get a day off to get to a tire shop to deal with your problem. There's a lot of good use cases for this. Another great thing is you could have this in your trunk, and if you run into an issue where you or somebody else needs a jump, you can go ahead and you can jump start your friend's car, a stranger's car, your own car. You become self-sufficient and able to provide aid to others. That's really nice. Now, another thing is that you have USB outputs. So that same USB-C cable that they provide you that can be used to charge this can also be plugged into this and be used to charge your newer iPhone and most all of your Androids in the last 5 years or so with a micro USB-C. I'm sorry, I keep saying that, with a USB-C. So this gives you that option that you can use this as a power bank to charge other devices. So it's a multi-purpose machine that by having this in your trunk, your glove box under your seat, you could be the hero for people just by having this simple machine. Now, if you're interested in this machine, and I have played with it already, even though I have not pulled this off, I've actually purposely let air out of tires and put air back into tires. Just playing with it, trying to experience what kind of heat buildup I get, how well this heat color works, which it works very well. And I actually was able to use it to jump start. I had a garden tractor that had a battery. It was pretty much flatlined. I plugged this in. I waited about 40, 50 seconds, turned the key. I got it to start, and I was able to pull it up to the house and go ahead and put a charger on it and get it back charged. I'm going to have a link in the description to a discount for you to buy this. I believe the discount that Andeman is going to give you is, I believe, 15 or 20% off. I'd have to go back look at the email, but when I put this video together and put it on YouTube, I will go ahead and put that link in there to get you the discount on the item. And by you buying it through that link, you'll be buying it cheaper than you could probably buy it any other way that I would know of. And you would have a pretty good, durable tool. The casing is very sturdy. It's a good, durable unit. You don't have to worry about it bouncing around in your trunk, throwing groceries on it. It's a very stout, well-built unit. Turn the power on. And we'll go mode. We're going to go car. Dropped it about 4 feet right there. It didn't know. It didn't care. You're probably not going to regularly throw this thing around, but there's not a mark on the case. There's no cracks. They're durable. It's a great tool to have. And honestly, I have friends at work, and all my family members have them that I've bought them for. My kids, my wife, my father, my mother. Told friends at work about them. They've bought some versions of these things. They're a really good, convenient thing to have. And I'm glad you watched my video. Do me a favor. Please like the video. Even if you don't subscribe, please like. If you like the kind of things I show you, subscribe. Go ahead and throw it on Facebook. Share it. I appreciate it. Hey, thanks, guys. Hey, guys, I know I said goodbye at the end of the original video there, but I just wanted to go ahead and show you. I'd let the air out of the two back tires here on these John Deeres. So they both hold 12 psi of air. There is nothing, but they're flat. It's just the tire is just stiff enough that it's holding it up. Same thing with this one. It's flat. There's no air. All right, so I have the air out. I just let it out. And I'm gonna hook this up so that you can see how quick it would take this to go from 0 to ready to mow. Okay, locked on. Power switch. I'm gonna run it mode to automobile. And I'm gonna set this. See if it can go down to 12. Can. How far down can it go? Yeah, we can go down to 3. Okay, we're gonna go to 12, which is where we want to be. Oh, not too many. Okay, now I'm gonna hit power. Now, what it's gonna do, notice it's at 0. Remember what I told you, if it takes too long to get the 1 PSI, it may shut itself off, and I can turn it right back on. There you go, 1. Does it about 1 minute and 30 in the video. 2, minute 40, 3, minute 42. 4, minute 45. 5, minute 53. 6:206. 2 minutes 6 seconds. 2 minutes 18 seconds. 7. 2 minutes 30, 8 PSI. 2 minutes 41, 9 PSI. 2:54, 10 PSI. 3 minutes 7 seconds, 11 PSI. Now it's going to kick itself off as soon as it sees 12. Remember, that's when we set the threshold. Told it to go ahead and air us to 12, so as soon as it saw 12, it kicked off. So now we're going to go ahead, take that off. We'll go right straight back here to this flat tire. We'll go ahead and put our chuck on. Quick and easy. Still turned on. Power. 3 minutes, 40 seconds, short time. There's the 1, 4 minutes. This is the brand, Andeman. Back up here. 5 minutes 27 seconds. This is a 22 950 by 12. 5 minutes 40 seconds. Minutes, 5 minutes 55 seconds, or 11 psi. And it should kick off here in a second when it sees 12. There you go. It sees 12. It's done. So at that point, take it off, power off. Which if you don't touch the power button, if it goes inactive for about 60 seconds, it'll turn itself off, which is a blessing and a pain. Sometimes you're trying to move from tire to tire, get the valve cap off, whatever, do some things, and it turns itself off before you can get yourself all hooked up and ready to go. But the good thing is it's a press of the power button brings it on. You do a little bit of a long hold, sorry. There, it's on. Second, just quick press, and it goes. So it just takes a second to go ahead and get it going. Anyways, there's the Andeman. The combination, the charging system / jump starter / tire and sports pump. Okay. Again, I'll put the link in there. Thanks a lot, guys. Talk to you again.